Jason, you've got a long connection with the club. I mean, you first came here in 1992. Since then, you've held down quite a number of jobs. Actually, what is the job you're doing now at the club for us?
Well, first of all, thanks for making me feel really old. Obviously, I think 2 years ago I started as the bowling coach, and that's still, I guess, my primary focus. But we had a couple of changes in the off-season, beginning of the off-season, where I took on, I guess, a little bit more responsibility, just heading up the talent development programme really. So working closely with Greg Kennis of the Cricket Board and Steve Snell, the Academy Director, and just making sure, I guess, that the players in our pathway and in the neighbouring counties is just to make sure that they're on track and heading in the right direction.
And I mean, I think you've been quite instrumental recently in re-establishing a link with Cornwall. I mean, how's that progressing?
Well, not to tempt fate, but it's gone really well. Yeah, there was an opportunity at the beginning of the winter. They'd had a few changes internally. So they've got a new director of performance down there in Andrew Jones, so I've met with him several times, and the Cornwall Cricket Board. We've managed to establish a really good relationship, which to present, we spent a few sessions down there, lots of meetings. We've sent 2 coaches down there this week that will work closely on their EPP programme through until the beginning of the summer, so that's really exciting. So we really are working together as opposed to just communicating. And we've got Lewis Goldsworthy, who's working on the potential Somerset Players Programme, the PUSP. So he's with us 8 Sundays leading into the summer. Very exciting talent, and he's obviously working in both environments, so it's progressing very well.
That's good. If you think, sort of, you had 6-7 years as Academy Director, as one of your jobs here. A lot of the youngsters who are in the side now came through that, didn't they, under your watch? I mean, can you talk us through 2 or 3 of them who've maybe gone on and made it big time with us?
Yeah, I mean, obviously incredibly proud of my tenure as Academy Director. We went through a transition many years ago, and obviously we've got Joss, who's unfortunately left us, but he's obviously in the England setup and doing phenomenally well in one-day cricket for England. But obviously we've more homegrown. We've got Lewis, Jamie Overton, Craig Overton, Jack Leach, Alex Barrow. There's a number of guys that came through at that time that are starting to put significant performances in, more importantly for us.
And of course there's another generation coming below them, isn't it? I mean, those lads are all now established in the side. They're not youngsters anymore, they're there. They're coming to be the finished article, but we've now got another generation coming through below them. I mean, they're an exciting group of youngsters as well.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously recent events with Ben Green and George Bartlett, and the newly adopted Ryan Davies out in Sri Lanka for Young England. So there's 3 young players that certainly to keep an eye on. But obviously there's young talent here in the academy now. You know, Steve Snell inherited a very good batch, and obviously with the coaches and support that are there, I've got no doubts that some of those guys will come through in the near future.
And you talked about the PSPP. I mean, that's a new development at the club. I think probably that you were instrumental in bringing on board.
Yeah, we just felt, we also got, the academy is highly regarded. We've got, similarly with the EPP programme, so the Emerging Players programme, both highly regarded. But obviously there's only a select few that can get onto those programmes, so we needed another vehicle where we could offer high quality coaching and work with other players that aren't that far away. So we brought in the PSPP, if you can remember the name. But it's been, you know, a brilliant success. Paul Tweddle heads that up, and it's just additional high level coaching really. Very holistic approach, working with guys that are in Devon, Cornwall and obviously within Somerset.
That's exciting. I mean, you've had a lot of pleasure working with young players. I mean, you can look back over the whole thing. What's given you more pleasure, taking a 5-6 foot out on the pitch, or watching some of those young players come through?
Without a shadow of a doubt, the players coming through. Like I say, I'm incredibly proud of my time as Academy Director, but even now, obviously, seeing the guys evolve, emerging, establish themselves as first team players, you know, there's no doubt that's the most rewarding thing. And you know, guys are starting to achieve higher honours. It's a challenge to produce players, there's no doubt about that. And for me, it's about producing guys that have got the ability to perform at international level and obviously for Somerset for years to come.
You've been here for more than half your life, Jason. I don't want to keep reminding you, but what is it about this club that makes you want to be here and has kept you on board when other people have come and gone?
I think it's a phenomenal place. I think we're incredibly fortunate. It's a club that's incredibly well supported. They're incredibly passionate, and they want to see a Somerset side that reality is it's home produced. They love watching homegrown talent do well. We've had some brilliant recruits from abroad, obviously, but that passion resonates with me. I've been here a long time, and I guess I recognise that. It took me a while, certainly as a player, but from a coaching point of view, I'm fully aware of what the members, the supporters want, and it's just, for me, I want to see Somerset be successful. There's no doubt about that.
So if I said to you, where would you think you'd like to see Somerset be in 5 years' time? What might your answer to that be?
For me, it's about sustained success, and success isn't necessarily trophies. It's about establishing the right processes that leads to them being successful on the park. Again, we've started to produce players that are good enough to establish themselves as first-class cricketers. We need more of that. We need to create the depth where I guess the long-term vision is to have 80–95% of your side that's homegrown. We've seen in domestic cricket the successful sides recently have done that, and they'll play for the support and the members with pride, passion, and you'll see it day in day out. And I guess I don't think it's that far away, to be honest.